Hey everyone, how are you? This is Rayma, and it is Friday night, and in true COVID slash antisocial fashion, I am at home, and I wanted to bake myself a special breakfast for tomorrow for the weekend, to kind of kickstart my last week of teaching for the semester. And so I wanted to bake vegan traditional currant scones for breakfast tomorrow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the dough tonight, pop it into the fridge, and tomorrow morning I will throw them into the oven and I will have hot piping vegan currant scones in about 15 minutes. So come with me and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I will be using the scone recipe from The Joy of Vegan Baking by Clean Patrick Joe. I've been cooking and baking from this book for over a decade and it has never failed me. The recipes are all amazing. So check it out if you want to make these scones at home yourself. What I have here are 2.5 cups of flour, about a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, a tiny little pinch of cinnamon, salt, baking powder, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and I have a cup of raisins here. I don't have currants, but I will just use raisins instead. And for my egg replacement, I'm using this amazing product here, Energy Egg Replacer. That box hasn't changed since I was a little kid. My parents definitely had many boxes of Energy Egg Replacer in our house. And I've just mixed that with a little bit of water, 2 tablespoons of water, and about 1.5 teaspoons of the egg replacement powder. I have 1/2 cup of vegan milk with a question mark. I'm using Bam nut milk, which is what I have in my pantry. Bam nuts, I think, are indigenous to Southeast Asia, and I got that for free at Everyday Vegan Grocer here in Singapore. And I'm using 3/4 of a cup or 1.5 blocks of vegan butter, and I'm just combining the 2 that I have on hand here in my house, Earth Balance and Miyoko's vegan cultured cashew butter. And I also got these as well from Everyday Vegan Grocer here in Singapore. So now I'm going to just combine all of these ingredients together to prepare my dough for tomorrow. Alright, so here it is. It came together in literally 3 seconds. And it looks a little bit wet to me because I think the butter is melting pretty quickly here in Southeast Asia. So I might have to flour it out a little when I work it tomorrow and I roll it out and cut it into scones. Instead of wrapping it in plastic wrap, I'm gonna store it in my new stasher bag so I don't throw away plastic into the landfill, and we'll see how that works, and I will bake this off tomorrow. Sibby! She made this bed herself. She brought all the towels from the rugs from the bathroom. She put all the toys there and the bully stick. Now she's inside the blanket resting in this little nest that she made for herself. Very impressive, Sibby. Very impressive. Alright, it's the next morning, and my scone dough has been chilling in the fridge overnight, and it firmed up quite nicely. The butter is now firmed up again, so I'm going to roll this out with my rolling pin on a floured surface and cut them into triangles. Alright, here's my dough all rolled out. It's a little bit more than 1/2 inch thick, maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. There's a mass of raisins on sort of this half. Not sure how that happened, but now that I see this little square, I think I'm going to cut them into 9 squares actually, and I won't bother with having to re-roll the round scraps that come from cutting out rounds. So I'll just do that and make my life really easy. Alright, so here are my square scones, all ready to be baked. Now I'm just going to brush the tops with a little bit more of this Bam nut milk with a question mark. And then I will, instead of an egg wash, sprinkle the tops with a little bit of just regular granulated sugar, and that way we can have a nice browning on the top. Alright, so here they are, fresh out of the oven. They look a little bit burny on the edges. That's how this oven is. All of the Asian ovens seem to burn The edges and the inside sometimes are still raw. I think it's because ovens are not made for baked goods here, but for like roasting meats and things like that. If you know why ovens are like that here in Asia, or if you have tips for me on how I can make sure my stuff comes out like how they used to in the US, let me know, hit me up. So I'll let these cool on the rack. I made one green and one red to celebrate the Christmas holiday. And then we'll eat these when they're still warm. All right, here we are. We have our Christmas scones and a variety of toppings to go with it. We have a sweet mandarin marmalade, which is my fave. We have a British plum preserve, which Bart really loves, cherry preserve, and a little bit of Miyoko Shinner's cultured butter, which is kind of like our clotted cream. All right, so we're gonna try it out now. Sippy wants some too. Super flaky, super warm, just the right amount of salt and sweet. I haven't had homemade scones in a really long time, so I'm super happy I bought myself some vegan butter so I can make one of my really old favorite recipes, something I've been making for more than a decade. So if you want to try out these amazing scones and a couple other scone recipes in the cookbook that I showed you, check out The Joy of Vegan Baking by Colleen Patrick Joe. It's now kind of like a vegan classic, and all of the recipes are amazing and tried and true. So check it out. And thanks for joining us on our Saturday morning scone breakfast. Thanks. So I received very high praise from Bart, who is sitting right there. Do you want to repeat what you just told me?
No.
He said they taste more promising than they looked. And I forgot to say, I have my limited edition Christmas mug that I only allow myself to use in December. So I'm enjoying my Earl Grey tea with my oxo tea ball, with my delicious, not promising looking, but very tasty scones. You want some too, Sid? Give me the part without the raisins. Sippy likes scones too.